Booty Pics, it's all about the angle, and according to Saggy Sarah, she really wants to make a point. You may follow her on Instagram. I was not aware of her, but I love her message. So what she does is she takes a number of different photographs and she shows the power of angles and even just like posture. We'll get to the one with posture when she shows like the difference between standing up straight and then sitting down, but with the booty angle, she wants to remind all of her followers not to compare yourself to the Kardashians or to images that you may see in a magazine because they rely heavily on those angles as well as lighting, as well as Photoshop. But let's take a look at her first photo and then I'll read you her caption. So on this photo, we have her, you clearly see the difference. This is not Photoshop, this is just angles. And she writes in the caption, not a progress photo. Since it's hump day, I thought it would be appropriate to post a booty pic. I thought I'd show my booty from its normal straight leg standing position versus a posed booty pop position. Because in a world where the Kardashians' booties are so glorified, we need to remember that the photos we see of them and others aren't always reality. And then she also goes on and on and on just to like, if you read the rest of her message, it's very empowering, but it's rather long, so I'm not going to read it all. Then she did another photo where she was standing versus sitting. I think this is really important too because a lot of girls think that if they have like a tummy roll that's a bad thing. I remember once when I wore, here on this show, I wore like a midriff and then I had like a pair of high-waisted pants and I had a tummy roll. That's normal. Like when you're standing up straight, it may be flat, but when you sit down, like you have tummy rolls. It's normal. And I remember people writing in saying, oh my God, Sam has tummy rolls. Or they would write in, thank God she has tummy rolls. Yeah, I have tummy rolls, I have cellulite, I have stretch marks, I have all the above. That's normal and that's healthy and that's okay and that's beautiful. So I love that this girl is doing that. And then to further make a point about angles, I don't have the biggest butt, but when we did this photo on a show I did with Sean Klitzner, let me see, for Debate Your Fate, so my butt looks pretty damn big there.
Yeah,
that's a huge butt.
That's all angles.
Yeah,
in fact,
that's not photoshopped at all?
Nope. Swear to God on my life, because what it is you're bending. Right. Heels help. So when you have heels and you're bending one leg, you're popping and then you pop it. You literally can pop your booty by arching your back. And then if you have one leg bent, you can fully pop it out.
I think we should all do it.
Yeah. So that sounds like a workout.
I do remember after that photo was taken, because we were also doing like a Facebook Live of it, I remember my back hurt from popping so hard. So yeah, it's all in the angles. Thoughts, 5 words or less.
All booties are bootyful.
Insta junk in the trunk.
Nice tushy. You?
Angles, no buts about it. So yeah, the power of angles.
So wait, let's learn how to do this with our butts, everybody.
Well,
oh damn.
So yeah, okay. So if you're standing up and like if
then we'll talk about how
this is straight, right? And then if you were to go, put one back.
Put one back?
And then, no, you want to do it like that. So you have one back, and then you really pop it.
Butchering this.
And then,
it really fucking hurts.
Wait, are you sticking your butt out and then
yes.
So
this
you
is not stick.
Boys. Ew!
There it is.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I love it.
Sam,
that's
great.
awesome.
Sam, you look,
right?
whoa, Sam's giving me ass for days.
So, and then, look.
Jason.
And then if you
Jason,
turn,
do it. Jason, show us a little to the side. Turn to the side a little bit more. Fuck, guys. We're gonna need a wider angle on this. That's a butt.
Don't touch the
But you also have to turn your look. If you turn the top, then you can like really pop it.
So you're facing. I just wrapped myself in my mic. Okay, let me try it. Do mine again. That's like weird. Like there you go.
But yeah, if you bend over like Grace.
Am I doing it?
Look at Grace. If you bend over like Grace, you really see it pop.
That's right.
Everybody,
look at this pop.
There's someone on like a subway right now, and someone's looking at their live feed.
Yeah, so you you can really make the booty pop. You can, yes, Jason.
We're giving you Jordache.
Look
Jordache.
at that.
That's great. That's a great ass.
So
my back hurts. Does
that's
anyone's back
dynamite.
hurt? My back hurts.
It's like a lower back.
This is a legit story, for real, because last week I had a photo shoot I was modeling Sweat Tailor, awesome brand, sweattailor.com.
Yeah, you were.
And the pants, we had to do back detail shots. Right now, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I am a black man that doesn't have a lot of junk in the trunk. I don't know what happened to me, but in order to accentuate the detail, I had to do a lot of different things to make sure my butt was popping. And also, guys worry about their butt too, on social media, because I see a lot of guys who work out, Hassan, and if you don't have an ass, you want to feel like you have an ass, because a lot of people think that's sexy, think it's attractive. So look, the angles are everything. I love taking butt pics.
I also think that there's something to be said for taking a really flattering photo of yourself that you're really confident about. I think that while you shouldn't put your value in a photo of yourself, sometimes it can be a little bit of a boost. I know that when I really don't like getting my photo taken, I don't think I'm very photogenic, but when I have had a photo taken of myself that I like and I feel confident about, it does make me feel good, and it can sort of add a little pep in my step.
I love that.
So I think that it's good that we're talking about angles and not doing any crazy sort of body modifications. You can make yourself look awesome and beautiful, and you don't have to, get any surgeries to do so.
And it reminds you to not compare yourself to other people.
Right.
Because
Yeah, but that's the fundamental underpinning of what we're trying to do. Like, by finding your angle and making your booty pop, you are trying to compare yourself to other people. You are. It's like, here, the Kardashians don't have, their butts are dependent on angles. You should be like them and learn those angles. That's a comparison. We're finding the
I don't agree with that. I don't think
similarities.
that's her point. I think her point is yes, if you want to use it, of course, but I think her point is to showcase that, listen, this is the difference. Everyone may look straight up and down, but as soon as you arch your back, I just want people to realize that it's not realistic, because people look at that and they really think people's bodies are naturally like that, and then they look at themselves in the mirror and then they don't feel good about themselves.
Right. All we've said is good. I get it. I think there's value in people saying, listen, I'm not going to judge myself based on my appearance. But then we're teaching you, and the only reason that we're teaching you skills to show you how to do those things with your body is to reveal that, listen, a lot of that is fake. The saddest thing I've ever seen, in many ways, is people retaking selfies to get that right angle, and that's where it's really, really sad. That's the saddest moment of people taking that photo, looking at it, and being like, no, do it again.
But what if it
Wait,
makes
I
them
want to
feel
get
good,
Jason's
like what
reaction.
Brett said?
Jason
The
was
time it
freaking
takes
out.
to do that, realize what you're doing and what you're investing time in.
Well, okay, no, I disagree, Brett. I mean, you're of course, Brett, you're entitled to your opinion. I thank you for sharing your opinion. But as far as my social media to me is about branding, and I'm just going to be brutally honest. Every picture, because as talent, when I'm
The rest of this is going to make me want to throw up.
But let me put it out there for you. When you put a picture out there, it lives forever on the internet, correct?
Yes.
So I subscribe to the notion, and I'm sure I'm gonna get flamed in the comments for this, but every image I put out there, I want to look good, and I want it to be representative of the brand I'm trying to have people subscribe to. And I don't ever enhance my pictures. I mean, okay, maybe a filter is
Everybody
an enhancement,
does,
right?
and that is an enhancement.
Okay, so I throw a filter on but I don't Facetune myself. I don't, when I'm at the gym, I don't have an angle to where I'm trying to be look more, I guess, in shape. I just take the best picture I think that makes me look the best. But I do believe in making sure that the picture you put out there should be perfect.
Well,
But that's
Feel good,
fucked.
That's okay. If that's
All of that
why
is
is that
so
fucked, though?
fucked.
Why is that?
makes it
Because
feel good.
it makes you feel good, but listen, I get it, and I lived in the world for a long time. But what it does is contribute to this idea that it is looks that fucking matter. That it is. And I'm gonna make my, some people have this model face or this model whatever, and that's great, and it's good, and if I'm trying to sell a shirt, great. But that leaves people to know that everything they see, that's this unattainable idea of not reality, of augmented reality.
But I think that we're talking about it sort of from a talent perspective, but let's talk about it as just a person in the world that isn't working in media, that doesn't have to consider branding or anything like that. I still think that I'll use my girlfriend as an example. When she takes a good photo or when she is in a good photo, it makes her feel good. But I don't think that she's internalizing it so much as I feel good about myself because I look pretty. I think it can be to a lesser extent. I think there are a lot of people that place way too much value on physical beauty, and that is definitely a problem with social media we need to combat. But I also think that there are people that enjoy social media or just enjoy having a nice photo to document a memory or to document an outfit that they thought was dope in moderation. I think there's a place for both of those things.
But if we're ranking what kinds of things are good versus worse or better, when a lot of that comes down to what it looks like, to what you look like, and you are placing value. And I get it. Listen, I just want to have people identify Because some people don't know if they're placing too much value on
true.
appearance. And I'm just saying, the more time you take retaking selfies, that's a way to check in to see how much value you're placing on the number of likes you get on a photo based on how you fucking look.
Also, a good thing to remember about that too, that really came home to me, was when someone said that there is no limit to the number of likes you can get. So the gratification that someone looks for in likes, if that's something that you consider, is you will never find it. It is a point of satisfaction that you will never reach. So I do think that there's something to be said for people that receive gratification or that look for purpose or meaning or validation in likes or in followers or whatnot. I think that that is fruitless, frivolous, and I don't think that you should spend your time on that. However, I really do think there is a place for an image that means something to you, whether it's like your progress on losing weight or developing style. For me, that's something that has been really important for me, because like 2 years ago, I had no idea the shit that I was wearing, like how I wanted to present.
Right.
And so when there is a good photo of me where like wearing something that I'm proud of, it's like, yeah, like I look cool and like I should be okay with that. And so I understand that like if I'm like finding myself taking way too many selfies, I think it is good to be like, whoa, shit, what is important here? But I do think that you can have photos as markers, and it can be a big confidence booster to find the right angles for you. And I don't know. I think
what battle are you fighting? Like,
right.
You're still in the category of appearance. That's what I'm trying to identify. You're still in the category of appearance. And in my opinion, there's better categories to be waging wars in than your motherfucking appearance. Like, I get it. Believe me, I spent 1,000 years looking like fucking Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, where I still have the same fucking hairstyle. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know what clothes to choose and clothes to wear and how to like present myself visually. And yes, in this business for sure, if you do dress better and look better, subconsciously people watching do say, all right, I'll give this a little more time watching before I judge it. But everyone needs to know that discussion, yeah, you're covering a base of like style, I just want to work it out and make sure I have it figured out. But you're still trying to get people to approve of you based on how you look. And compared to other ways to get people's approval, first, that's still like in the category of getting approval from people, which you shouldn't be that concerned with. Get out of that category in your head.
But then isn't that what social media, to me, I guess, isn't that what social media's turned into? Is
who gives a fuck what it's turned into?
But you have social media, yes?
Yeah.
So why do you post things
for jokes?
So
for silly jokes and fun.
And for you, so that gets your rock sauce, to post stuff for silly jokes and fun, right? And so someone else could say that's you're looking for approval on that.
I am looking for people to have a good time.
Yeah, so what would you say to the people
that's
out there?
The reason, and I think you probably feel the same way when you get on stage to tell jokes.
Well, no,
you're doing
that's
it
very
for
true.
people to have a good time.
What would you say? And believe me, I get it, Brett. I mean, look on my Instagram. My Instagram is mostly like me hugging animals, so I get it. But what would you say to the person that's a fashion blogger? For them,
I say exactly what I said. Like, you guys are in the business of judging people based on how they look.
I think you're judging them, though. Believe me, I agree with you. I share the same sentiment as you, but I also don't want us to take this extreme of judging them either.
If we're doing the philosophical thing, yes, fashion is art. It's your body is the canvas, and you're doing stuff. And I respect people who are able to design an outfit, pick an outfit. Definitely respect it, but not as much as other things, because it's still, that's your job, that's you physically and creatively expressing yourself, but you're still in the business of judging people based on how they look. So there's a ceiling to how much I can respect that. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. But I do think, let's not stray too far from her point, was just to remind her followers that don't compare yourself to these images that you think are unattainable because they're fake.
Right. That
was her point. I thought that was a beautiful point.
The teaching people how to take the photo.
I don't even think she was really teaching how to take the photo.
Exactly.
She was reminding people to not invest so much in a photo.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I really like that.
Brett approves.
Okay, I think that was a good conversation, though. I do. I think this was a really good conversation. I feel like we could keep talking about it.
It's so much of what we work in. I think that's why, we all at some point in time you have to reconcile. It's been sort of a strange thing for me as well. I totally understand where you're coming from. Like, it's when you work in this medium, you have to be okay with branding and whatnot, and sometimes you're not okay with it, and sometimes it is fucked up, and it feels really surface level, and that sucks. But then it's also like I've caught myself on stage before telling jokes, being like, I'm literally speaking, looking for your approval in the form of laughter.
Yeah.
What
Hey,
weird.
Hey, dude, I fuck up all the time. I don't live by that thing I said all the time.
But it's
when
important that we
and
talk
I'll
about
just
it.
forget,
But
and then I'll have a moment exactly like that where you're like, oh shit.
But
reevaluate.
Some people can also really separate, and this is something I wish I was good at doing. Some people can really separate their Instagram as business, and I think you're really good about that. You see it specifically as branding. You see it specifically as a way for when a casting director or a producer sees it, they know exactly who you are. So I think we need to remember that some people can actually compartmentalize, and they're not specifically seeking likes. They're specifically creating almost like a resume. So when that producer does look on their page,
and I mean,
and that's a smart business.
it's business.
Move. I wish I was better at that.
I come from a business. Thank you, Sam, because Brett, I'm not vapid, and I'm not saying you're.
I don't think you're vapid either.
Okay, just newsflash, viewers. I'm not vapid
No,
or
you're
that
not.
or that way.
No,
I just
you're
feel
one
like,
of the most in-depth people I know.
Thank you, Sam. But to me, it's just I don't get a lot of likes on my pictures. I don't. My hubby is no one. He's someone, but not in the entertainment. And he has 30,000 followers, and it's just like anyone could be popular on social media. But for me, I have been looked at in a negative light per se because of my followers, because of the pictures I posted, because I was doing things that were not up to par for our industry. So that's where I'm coming from, and I can differentiate between I don't need approval from social media, but I feel like the perfectionistic person that I am, I don't like putting anything out there that isn't up to my standard of personally. I'm not putting it against Amir's standard, your standard, Sam. It's what I think is acceptable for me. So just for the record.
I think that's important, and I think it's a smart business move.
I can't wait to hear what people say in the comments.
I know.
Shit.
It's such
Please.
it's such a relevant conversation
I
to
think
have.
it's gonna be like, listen, I follow you to see what you're doing. And regardless of like how good you look, or if I just want people to be like, when you're following someone online, make sure you're in touch with why you're following them and what you want out of it. And then evaluate that against your values and what you think is a good reason. Like, I like following you on Instagram because I like seeing where you go camping and you with your dog and all those fun little things that you do. I really like that.
I love doing those things.
So that's great, and that's what it is. And I get it. Like, if you took like a weird ass photo that wasn't like funny because it's weird, it was just like a little off. Like, yeah, that's probably what you're thinking if you take another photo. It's like, oh wow, that was just weird. It wasn't in focus or whatever. So there's I'm fine with that, but I definitely, and I fuck up all the time, as I said. Like, you'll go through my Instagram and you'll be like, he probably took that 6 times. I fucking hate that I did that, and I wish I didn't do that. And the next 5 after that probably don't even have my face in it because I fucking hate that shit.
At the end of the day, just I don't know. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. I just want everybody to feel good about themselves. Feel good and just don't compare yourself to other people because you don't really know what they did to create that photo. I think that's a really good reminder, and I think that Saggy Sarah did a really good job of pointing that out. And we'll see you next time on